couple of days ago, I have written something in an article of how to penetrate a woman's Holy of Holies in 2 steps. And I thought I'd just read the article out here on YouTube as a form as a video, so you can access it that way too. And the content that is where I'm very passionate about, of what I have learned through all the years of training as a sexological body worker, being in Tantra, just learning about being in relationship with someone and really practicing intimate and conscious sexuality. So here it goes. I hope you enjoy it, and do let me know what you think of it and what particular things maybe resonated with you, what you have learned from it, or what's your experience. So here it goes. There has always been a desire coming from within me that deep isn't deep enough. I wanted to go further. I truly wanted to touch the person I'm with. I wanted to bless my beloved and myself with an extraordinary experience, a moment of true surrender, union, and blissful heart connection. For this, I was willing to give everything, yes, even prepared to die in that very moment. But now I know that by practicing intimate sexuality, one is dying each time in the depth of the element of the other. Each time you surface again and regain full composure after the ritual, you are somehow not the person anymore that you have been before you started the deep dive. A sense of being humbled by and in awe of the unfolding experiences sets in, softening your being, strengthening and empowering your persona to have the balls to show up again and dive even further. Stay down there and in that experience of truly meeting your beloved heart to heart. Let's be clear, I'm not talking about recreational sexual activity here that is mostly being used to follow and satisfy one's animal instinct and or sexual desire. There's nothing wrong with a bit of that, but remember, it's for one's own needs and desires. So we're using basically the other one. But here I'm talking about the sacred act of union in body, mind, and soul. This is a heartfelt and desired ritual of giving yourself fully to another, and by giving everything that you have, you receive 1,000-fold in return. Intimate sexuality is a constant growing, ever-expanding kind of intuitive, creative, sexual interaction where one is constantly challenged or asked to outgrow oneself. Remember, the true meaning of intimacy is to stay, to reveal, and to unravel in front of someone. Hence why it is a ritualistic, creative, sensing and feeling act of doing, i.e. to give something that so far has been hidden or has been dormant within you. True intimacy always takes balls to do it, as you are constantly letting go of ever more layers of shame and reveal your unique creative spirit at that particular moment. You will see, if you pursue the path of honest and authentic intimacy, you will never really experience one moment like the other. It will always be different, just like a river that you step into. At the next moment, the river is a different river than the moment before. Still the same river, still the same place, but still different all at that same time. Even more layers of truth that are wrapped up in an infinite array of creative expressions are coming forth, wanting to be experienced, witnessed, shared, and ultimately wanting to be transformed, transcended, and dissolved. The first and maybe most fundamental act is to have a heartfelt intention to connect to the other person's body, heart, and soul. That will set the tone and transform the mundane physical recreational activity, which is mind-based, which is visual, thinking, doing, into a special ritualistic experience that is somatic, that comes from the body, that's about feeling, sensing, and being. I say there is in general always some sort of doing in being, but rarely there is being in doing. The mind likes to have control and finds it easier just to rule from the mind, ignore the body completely, However, the body is well willing to give the mind its fair share. If we're honest, the body needs the functioning mind, but somehow the mind thinks it's better off without the body, which only gets in the way. It's like the faulty tower hotel owner who thinks that the hotel would run so much better without its customers. They are just a bloody nuisance, he would say. Well, if you can imagine, a hotel is only as good as the people are there, and it's busy and it's bustling of life, and it's filled of all these different people that are there and make it that loving place, because there are people who give from their heart to make it such a great place. Oh yeah, the first step then is truly to get the fire going. Giving yourself, receiving the other, expressing yourself, being held by the other, witnessing the expression of the other, and so on and so on. All that in ever-turning cycles, never losing your connection and awareness for yourself and to the other. Stay in the moment, stay present at all times. That builds trust, stability, and a sense of safety that allows the other person to surrender control and let them fall with you into the uncertainty of things to come. The clearest signal that you can give your partner is that you're expressing yourself fully through authentic sounds, through breath, and through movement. So the three pillars of really authentic expression is sound, breath, and movement. It shows that you're fully present, confident, in control of your body, and capable of the present situation. Awesome. Here we can get even deeper. But remember on this matter that you always dive to the capabilities of the weakest diver. The weakest diver decides how far down and for how long the dive goes. Without excuse, if you bang together, you hang together, no matter what. So if you choose to go diving, then you dive, and no matter what, you're going back up together. And if the other one wants to stand down there, but the other one has to come up or wants to come up, you're both going up again and dissolving the container that you have created. So really, really important. And it's always to look out for the weaker part in it. And remember, that can change. You maybe start off as the weaker, but realize, hold on, in the experience, it has changed. And now suddenly the other one is in need to have the space hold for him or for her. One note on the side. If you are with someone in a sacred ritual, then be assured that you do follow ritualistic protocol. For example, when the foreplay comes to an end and your desire drives you to take the next step and to penetrate her, please do ask her for permission to enter her. Ask her if she's ready to be entered, if she wants to receive you now, take you in now. Is there anything else that she needs right now? No matter how wet you think she may be or how much she craves you now, please do give her the honor and respect to ask her if you may enter her holy temple now. So there's always the perception that's like, oh, hold on, she's wet and she's gagging for it, so therefore she needs to be ready, right? This slightly perception and so on. And just ask. Just get sure that there is no risk being taken. And in the ritual, it's a ritualistic protocol. Ask her. You don't have to do that every day, but in the beginning for certain, there is a feeling of being appreciated, valued, and well worthy of that comes when you're being asked. If you visit someone, you also press the bell or ask if you can come in before stepping into their home, isn't it? So the least that we can do if we enter a living temple is to ask equally if we may come in now. She may tell us, not now, but if you take off your shoes, then I'm happy to welcome you in. So on the other side, you could also say, it's like, ask the question, what can I do? What do you need to have done that I may then enter? Right? In this case, take your shoes off and then you're very welcome to enter. It suits me, or it's perfect timing. Great. So keep watching out for yourselves and the other. And if in case, check in with your partner. Even demand a quick eye contact if you're in doubt. If they're okay with whatever's going on. They may have become dissociated and lost presence. So so often is like to kiss or close your eyes, like, or it's like then you're sensual, then in your body it's like, yeah, it helps you in your body. But when you haven't got your eyes open, then it's very easy to lose contact with the other. The other one maybe closes the eyes and drops off and goes into visualization of porn or whatever. So they're not present anymore. It can be, but it's only a point of when you know your partner very well. You can trust them. Look, they have their eyes closed because they're really deep inside and they're feeling and they're sensing. But if you have a new partner, or if you go in particular deep in a certain experience, do check in and do allow yourself to fully witness with open eyes. You're exposing part of your soul, and you give that part to someone and you receive that also. If everything is good, then keep expanding your sexual container and fill it with ever more creative energy, authentic expression that is, to increase the temperature to its capacity. One thing that is too often forgotten is the sexual acceleration power of the auditory system, also called throat chakra. This place has two parts. Right? It's so often forgotten. It's like throat chakra is what we speak. No, the masculine is the throat, and one that is the receptive part is the feminine, is the ears. It is there where you're giving voice to the emotions within the heart. The voice of the person penetrates to the heart of the listener, changing his or her state of mind and being. And therefore you use your voice. This is what we humans do. We use our voice. So don't, when it comes to love making, when it comes to this ritualistic expression of intimacy and so on, then for a lot of people the voice stops because their throat chakra is gone. But when that is gone, this is not being used either. And this is vital. This is really, really important. It can be such an enormous acceleration paddle for arousal and pleasure. So, whisper something in her or his ears. Say some dirty things to him or her, or tell a fantasy story that really turns you on personally. I'm sure that if you let your intuition guide you, and keep feeling into the response and reaction of your partner, then your partner will also be highly turned on by your authentic and heartfelt expression. Yes, he or she even may explode by the sudden fulfillment of her auditory needs and desires to hear through her ears right into her being. The ears are a great arousal organ. Don't forget that, particularly with women. So trust your instinct, trust your intuition, what comes with it. And maybe beforehand, when you go into the act, speak to her. How can you call her genital? How do you want to, what are you allowed to name it? Because your vagina is the one thing, but in a really highly aroused, sexual, loving container, the word cunt can be something completely powerful, or a pussy or whatever. So ask her if it is right in this context to say certain words, and express them, and they have a certain energy, a certain edge to them that makes a real difference. As well, for you to open up your throat chakras, to speak them out, to voice them, the vibration that comes with it, as well to receive the vibration in your ears, into your mind. Yeah. So, where are we? Turn on the authentic. So, yes, he or she even may explode by the sudden fulfillment of her auditory needs, desires, to hear through her ears right into her being. The ears are a great arousal organ. We already were there, right? To continue the heart-to-heart connection, those choose positions that keep your chests close together, and don't underestimate the power of keeping eye contact. We spoke already about that. Witnessing each other in real life, looking and allowing the other to look into your or her soul, all to give, nothing to hide. So that's really, again, intimacy. Shows them something that they can look into that is so far hidden from the outside. Allow them to gaze into. Even though they can see your soul, don't worry about that, you're love. When the initial bursts of desire and heat have been ridden, the container has been heat proofed. Then the heat proofing is really important, because so often when the container actually would be heat proofed, the game is over. So allow yourself to find the point where you can heat proof the container, but you're not getting over the edge. You're not getting out of the container again. You're not finishing the actual job. The job is to heat proof it. Then the movement becomes more synchronized and rhythmical in that moment. Not so much friction based anymore. So the excesses of being in the red zone, you dissipate them, you allow them to, and you go back to a moderate level, where you then can freely dance and have more freedom of expressing, because you don't have to control yourself so much anymore. This is the stage where the penis gland and vaginal cervix maneuver and line themselves for the great kiss, which turns for many to be the le petit mort, or better known as the little death, the point at which man can easily lose control, orgasm, or ejaculate. Nearly 8 years ago, now, I facilitated a workshop in Ireland that was called Going Home. Nothing is closer to being home for a man than in that moment of standing in front of the gate that veils your place of birth from a frequency point of view. The woman's womb. Do allow yourself to feel this frequency. It truly will blow your fuses of excitement to be back home again, nearly, but not really. So for me, it was a real revelation to realize that excitement and that uncontrollable feeling of arousal that had something to do on a vibrational level that I was experiencing going home again. There where I came from. This is home. That a woman wears it in her body and she has a reference point for that, but we are being ejected out of that more than less. And then we're trying to find it back. So there it is. And there we can hone back into again. We can reconnect with it again. On a physically, energetically, emotional level. And this takes also time to allow this to settle, to integrate, to heal, that you can cope with it, that it's not overbearing, that it doesn't hit your fuses. It is here where the first step finds its end and where the second part has its beginning. Here, the world splits from the material into the energetic realms. Here, you are asked to leave your vehicle behind and continue your journey as a Vajra, a wand of light, or a lightsaber. Here, you are asked to continue only with your feeling or energetic cock, through resonance, frequency, and vibration. For many men today, it means the end of the road, as they so far have not taken the self-responsibility to resensitize their cocks and connect their genitals with their hearts for purposes beyond the physical, high pressure and high friction pornographical ego sex. So that's the recreational side of where we get an identification of being a great lover, and we give it to her properly, and I'm the man and whatever, and that's the one side. But for that, it's really important that you have a feeling, a sensitive cock, that you can hone in on frequency, on vibration, on energy. I mean, for me, by now I know that this is a massive part of my story of having always been someone who suffered early ejaculation or involuntary ejaculation. I couldn't control it. I was so excited. I was so sensitive. I had so much ability to sense and to feel, and wasn't able to to contain that in an extent. But now I know that exactly what has been my weakness became really my strength, because I have a feeling cock, and with that I can go onto much more subtler levels in the act of lovemaking, that I can go into resonance, and we all can do that if we do that work, to go into contact with the other person, with the other genital, with the other organs that are there, and with that there's emotional effects involved. So Really, really important for a man to sensitize or desensitize your cock. Wherever you are on the scale, you need to have the whole spectrum. I think to have a ravaged kind of thing where you just, the bull is equally beautiful as the time to be in stillness and still fully being present and can feel all the champagne bubbles that are there to be felt. Initially, you can awaken the cervix through touching it gently and rhythmically with the tip of your penis by moving your hips in a rotating, grinding rather than through a thrusting motion. Your movements become very slow, moving more towards sensing, feeling your way along as you position yourself and align with your partner. Here, you won't be moving in and out of her vagina anymore. Rather, you will become still inside of her, listening to her vibration, going into resonance with the frequency of her womb and sensing the energy that's bizzling like fresh champagne in her vagina. Keep stimulating the area and keep maneuvering around the cervix till you suddenly feel like you have been clamped down, being held now in one spot. That's what I call the love lock, which is in the anterior or posterior fornix. This is a little space when the woman becomes really aroused, her vaginal cavity is opening up, it's pressing to the outside, which releases even more liquid that is stored in the tissue of the vaginal walls. And when that's been pressed outwards, more liquid comes into the vagina and therefore she becomes even wetter. And the arousal effect of that, of course, is very, very pleasurable. The sensation will be so extremely pleasurable that it will be hard to resist. To resist the urge, but keep still, exhale, and try to relax. So really important is not to pull out, but stay in the moment, become still, and trying to recover through breathing, to exhaling. That's how you down-regulate your system. Try to withhold the begging force within you and let go and die here, in here, in the now. Keep exhaling. That's the down-regulating of your system, relaxing into the sensation. And with every breath, visualize your wand of light, your lightsaber, to direct your desire, fueled heart energy through her cervix and into the Holy of Holies, into her womb. Your heart energy that is being sent forth through your feeling cock will be received by her and directed back into her heart, as the womb and the cervix has a direct meridian linking them together. From there, the circle is complete, as the man receives into the heart and gives through his genitals, whereas the woman receives into her genitals and gives through her heart. So I fully believe that it's not just good enough to do that circle, to activate that circle and allow that circle to run by just penetrating her through recreational sex. You're not giving love in that way. Love is an energy form, and you need to have brought both together, the physical and the energy form, that you send that forth deep inside of her. That she can work, that she can pick that energy up, that the womb resonates with that, and then the meridian can bring it to her heart, from where she naturally gives it back out again. When you do this, I suggest that the sacredness of this ritual, and as a sign of genuine respect and goodwill, to ask her prior energetic efforts for permission to send forth your pure loving heart energy into the divine core of her being. Assure her that you come in peace, in truth, and that you wish to bring her nothing else than love and pure light. When the time has come, you will sense when it's complete. But please do not pull out whatsoever. Keep resting in stillness. Keep feeling yourself and feel into her. Allow your penis to lose its hardness and enjoy still being held by your partner's grip of you. If you have to move off and out of your partner, please do ask permission to take your body, your penis, out of her vagina. Very important. Any premature, unexpected or sudden removal of your penis will cause an abandonment situation, a kind of trauma in the cellular memory of her vagina, which then The same as with the penis, when that happens too often, when it's too often without consent or stepping over the boundaries, then the vagina switches off the sensing mode of it and becomes more and more desensitized till it becomes numb, and then you don't feel anything anymore, or particular areas of it. So please do ask her if you can now disconnect from her and if she agrees. Please don't go immediately out of her physical space either. Stay with her, keep the physical emotional connection up, and cuddle with her. Space out a little while whilst holding contact with her, love, speak with her, etc., etc., so that the energetic container can dissolve itself slowly and naturally. So it's initially energetic, the physical, and then the emotional container can resolve as well. Then it's all good. Imagine you have lifted someone up far into the air just because you have now done what you set out to do. You're not just suddenly open your arms and drop the person onto the floor from the full height. You get sure, slowly and gently returning the person, placing them with their feet back onto Mother Earth. When you have assured yourself that the person stands properly again for themselves, only then you release your securing grip around them, isn't it? This leaves us where we have started. Doesn't it say, I'm the Alpha and the Omega? I'm the beginning and the end? And as we have started our journey with the heartfelt intention to penetrate her Holy of Holies, we have come to end it there, and with the intention being completed and materialized in a heavenly experience. Loving intent must become content. That is the universal law and our God-given right to manifest heaven on earth. Where two or more come together in my name, in the name of love, magic will happen. It has to happen. So enjoy yourselves and your partner and the act of bringing loving intent to create magic content. Yeah? Get sure your intention is set with pure love, and then allow yourself to embrace that and grow in your intimacy, in your authenticity, grow in the way how you can freely express yourself, all that you are. The sexuality, that can mean anything. So you will transcend the areas and boundaries of light and darkness, because it will be all love, and therefore it will be all good. You'll lose the area of shame and guilt and perception and judgment for it. So I hope that was helpful for you, and let me know what you think of it when you are hearing to it, when you come across it, and speak soon. Any questions, please do write to me and let me know, and I'm very happy to answer them. Speak soon. Rise and shine.